maybe this is you. You start doing some basic self-improvement habits. Good for you. You start going to the gym, you start meditating, and you feel like your life really, really improves. For once in your life, a little bit satisfied with what you've achieved. But after a while, you fall off. They'll say, oh, I'm too busy. Some people say, oh, it's so difficult to continue with self-improvement. And, oh, it's not fun. And all three of these are just bad excuses. I'm going to address all of them. First of all, being too busy. So some people will say that they're too busy to do self-improvement habits. Like, oh, I'm too busy to go to the gym. Or I'm too busy to meditate for literally 5 minutes in the day. You are telling me you don't have 5 minutes to spare. And you're watching this video, so I get the impression you have 5 minutes. Realistically though, to these kinds of people, I have nothing to say to you. If you are going to keep believing that you are busy, then that is entirely on you. You are the only one who doesn't benefit from this. Keep being busy. It's not my responsibility or purpose to find the time for you to start meditating for even just 5 minutes per day. It's not my responsibility. It's completely on you to make the conscious decision to actually just start. Some other people will say, oh, self-improvement is just so hard. All the habits, they're so difficult. They take a lot of mental effort. I could just be like scrolling on my phone instead, It'd be more stress relieving. And first of all, it's definitely not more stress relieving. But I can actually agree. Some of the things that you have to do are difficult. You're actively putting yourself through some difficult things to reach a better place, right? To reap the benefits of self-improvement. For example, like weightlifting, like doing some back squats, like going like 95% of your max. Sometimes that can be pretty scary. But I need to ask you first, how badly do you want to achieve your goal? If you want to achieve your goal, then do the tasks that bring you closer to that goal. So if your goal is to get jacked, then what you have to do is lift some weights. There's no complaining about it because it's just part of getting jacked, right? It takes the effort of lifting weights. Now, if you don't want to achieve your goal, then do tasks that bring you further away from your goal. Slack on your diet, slack on your sleep. It's pretty easy to get away from your goal. It's your goal for a reason, right? It's something that you want to achieve. So make it happen. And then some people will tell you, self-improvement isn't really that fun. I wish I could just be going out, doing some degenerate stuff, being a bad person, doing irresponsible things with my time. And to that I say, no, self-improvement should be fun. If it isn't fun, then I think you're doing it wrong. I've discussed this idea a few times before, because I think it's actually probably one of the biggest messages that I want to push as far as self-improvement. When I say fun, I don't mean like sunshine and rainbows fun that you think like a kid would, like eating chocolate every day and what do kids do? Like playing with toys, eating with chocolate. Realistically speaking, your locked in time, your self-improvement journey should be the happiest that you have ever been. So let's take it for example, you have all of these bad habits. Like for example, you have an addiction to pornography. If you're constantly consuming this stuff, you'll feel deprived of genuine human connection. So when you start to reject the bad habits, such as pornography, and you accept a good one, such as meditation, which helps you clear your mind, helps you focus, helps you do all this stuff mentally, that is when you become happier because you got rid of the bad habits. The bad habits are partially what cause you to feel awful all the time. Another example of this would be sleeping more. So if you're someone, you always go to bed, 11 p.m., 12 p.m., even 1 a.m. Some people think this is like really early. I've been criticized before. I think 12 a.m. is a bit of a late time to sleep for most people. People are like, oh, it's the weekend, or oh, I need to go out partying, but like, you'll feel happier if you sleep more, right? So just literally everything in your life improves if you sleep more. Like, for example, your energy increases significantly when you sleep enough. I don't need to pull up a study to tell you that. Like, that's just obvious. So therefore, your mood will be better, the amount of effort you can put into your work will be better, and literally everything in your life will improve. It's like a compounding effect, because you get an extra hour of sleep, all because you decided to log in for your sleep. As such, if your energy is better, then you're going to be having more fun. Like, you really shouldn't think of self-improvement as being put in a prison. You're being liberated from the prison that is the bad habits. Someone is telling you stop doing these, and you've been given, listening to people who tell you this stuff is what's giving you the key to unlock yourself out of it. Or maybe you always had the key. Maybe you just didn't even know you were trapped in the cage to begin with. But regardless, it's going to liberate you, not cause you to miss out. So as far as to avoid falling off self-improvement, so I have this plan. It's a 5-step plan, optional 5th step. First thing, recall your goal. So let's make up an example scenario. Yours is to get in shape. Great, you have a goal, get in shape. Your following task should be to identify the steps you need to take to achieve this goal. And then 3 is to take the actual action. So like follow those steps and as such, get closer to your goal. And 4, be happy, knowing that today you got closer to your goal. You genuinely put in effort to do good habits, and you should be happy. Like if you're not happy because you feel like you're still sacrificing something, if you feel like you're giving it up, if you feel like you're giving up those bad habits, then you're not doing it right. You have to be liberated from them. You're liberating yourself from it. Number 5, which this step comes with meditation, but being mindful and recognizing the mistakes that you make, and also being mindful of the excuses that you make. So if you make an excuse, like I didn't have time, sometimes like things do actually get caught up, right? Sometimes we do have things that obstruct our time to do something. You know, you have another sudden like emergency or something, you have to get it done, right? It happens. But what I am saying is be mindful of the excuses that you genuinely have no control over. Those are the valid ones. If you genuinely have no control over something, then sure, like that's reasonable enough. But if you do have the opportunity to even slightly mitigate it and you choose not to, then that's bad. To provide an example of that, like, you know, let's say hypothetically, you know, you were going to go to the gym today and you found out that like someone important to you died in a car crash. Like, okay, you should probably, I feel like that would be a pretty good reason not to go to the gym. And then there are the excuses that are a bit more shallow. So what would be shallow, for example, would be choosing to not go to the gym because you're feeling tired. And the reason you feel tired isn't because like someone important to you died. It's just because you worked really hard today. I don't think that's a valid excuse, because you have this goal and there's generally nothing obstructing you from achieving it, so you really have no reason not to achieve it. And this is where I actually need to ask you guys for help. So if you have any other reasons or excuses that you've fallen off self-improvement, you kind of just stopped for a while, but you wanted to get back into it, I would appreciate commenting on this, because I think a lot of people, it's useful to have a variety of opinions about this, and hearing from others about the things that they've experienced, like the things that they've kind of suffered under, helps me make more specific videos to people who are struggling to make changes in their life. And that's like ultimately my goal, right? Is to maybe inspire a few people to take a grand amount of action, really fix themselves, and just live a happier life. Okay,